Oh, live. Am I live? Yeah, I am. Future kids, how are you? I think at this stage, this is like the only reason I'm doing this. I remember starting off thinking I was going to be like the next Joe Rogan, or that's kind of what I wanted to form this to be and have this great following. Honestly, the one thing I really want is for people just to send me free stuff, like shirts and, you see like these famous YouTubers and they get sent stuff. That'd be really cool, but I just saw a video talking about how you shouldn't compare yourselves to others through like it's kind of like a right winged, it's not even really a news channel, but they just do like these animated films. They bring in these really good guests, Ben Shapiro, and they kind of talk through something and they use animations and examples. It's like publicity, or I forgot the name of it, but it's like starts with P or U. But so I'm trying to make this a lot more free flowing. I haven't recorded anything in a while. It's February 12th, yeah. And I remember starting off and hitting 3 in a row, or like essentially 3 or maybe 4 in a row. No, it was 3. Yeah, definitely 3 in a row of me just talking for an hour. And right now I've had a test on Monday, had to have a test tomorrow, Wednesday. I've got something due on Monday of next week. I've got something due of Tuesday next week, and another test on Thursday. That's going to be bare. And then after that, everything's going to kind of calm down. But I figured if I couldn't squeeze one in now, there's a good chance I'd forget about it moving forward. So I figured I'd squeeze one in now. Typically, I have a list in mind of things I want to talk about. But, I mean, with it being 2-3 months since I've last done one of these, there's so much going on, going on, but also that has gone on that I couldn't cover it. I ain't got enough, I don't have a cup of water to rehydrate as I spill my adventures and thoughts. But I don't know, I just kind of wanted to get back into recording things. I think this library will be really cool to show my kids when they're of age. But school is definitely ramping up this spring semester. I got these really nice shades for Christmas. I got a gift card to Bass Pro and some cash, so I finally decided to get some nice shades, and boy are they nice. I feel like my head's too fat or big for other shades, but these are really big, so they fit my head. And they're not like the aviators, but they're also not like Ray-Bans. So I'm a big fan of them. Looking like I might get a job with Lennar after college, which is nice. If that doesn't work out, this will be funny to hear me talk about it. Hopefully that turns out and I like that. I feel like one of my fears isn't necessarily like, oh, I hope I can, go off and do this and do that, and I won't be able to perform, or I'll just be homeless, or just won't be able to like make it or cut it. Like, yeah, there's some fear of that, but I think majority of it is, one, will I like what I'm doing and not just be like, hey, I can make $1 million, but I work like a dog and I hate what I'm doing. Like, that's something that's high on my list of, well, that's probably like number 1, maybe 2, that I don't want to get stuck in making a lot of money and doing something and not enjoying it. And then 2, my next fear is kind of like not reaching my potential in a sense. Like, hey, you got a good job, you've got a good house, you got a good wife and family, and you're not content, but just that, looking back that you had so much more planned and more. And I understand that your plans don't always come to fruition, and I'm not saying to my future kids that I'm upset about you. But I try and take a stance that, hey, a lot that has been given, when a lot is given, a lot is expected. And I feel like I've been blessed to be given a lot. So on that same note, and I expect myself to work and not get a lot in a financial means, but enjoy life. And then probably 3rd is kind of the only last thing that's like the smallest percentage, is not being able to cut it in the workforce. I'll probably get fired. I'll probably quit a couple jobs, this, that, and the other. But I mean, it is a fear, but it's so minuscule because I have faith in myself that whatever happens, if it means I have to Uber for a year and live on mom's couch, and hey, I'll find some way to make money, save money, and hey, go back to school and get another job or find an industry that needs something or be a day laborer, but something that I'm not going to end up on the street and there's some source of income. But touching back more on too, I feel like that could be a really sensitive issue to like future kids. Like, oh, dad doesn't love me because he isn't reaching his potential. No, kids are really big in my future plans. It's not necessarily really related to social or family. When I talk about not reaching my potential, I'm more referring to is like when you see. I heard this story about the CEO of PDQ. PDQ is a really nice restaurant. Stands for pretty darn, pretty darn quick or pretty darn good. People dedicated to quality. That's what it is. The owner, the CEO and developer that also created Outback is a multi-billionaire. Goes to Tampa, still works his butt off. He's 7-year-old. That guy has reached, I'd say, his potential or is always chasing to get 1% better. However, on the flip side of the coin, his son lives in New York and manages one of the PDQ locations. And that's what I'm more afraid about with not reaching my potential, that a lot's been given and my family owns this nice business and I'll just end up, working from parents and I'll manage something. And yeah, I know that I'd be happy with that, but I just don't want to be content or feel about myself like, oh, I'm only, sustaining this business and not growing it and making an impact in the community or getting involved in different committees and whatnot. So that's kind of what I mean by my potential. Not that, I settled down and had kids. I'm not even that wild myself. But I also, talking about the concept of being like wild, I do feel like now I'm getting into the workforce that I need to take more advantage of going out, and that when I do get out in the workforce and do settle down, I feel like once every 6 months I gotta do something crazy. I heard Bert Kreischer, the comedian, talk about that, about, every quarter, every half year, every year he has to do something crazy, whether it's snorkeling, spearfishing, or doing some crazy marathon, or there's just something that like, I also need to get more into working out and talking about a marathon, but So yeah, going back to like my fears is number 3, that I can't cut it. I have full faith in myself that one way or the other, even if things get tough and I can't cut it for a short amount of time, that I'll find a way and evolve and adapt to something that where I can at least sustain myself. Number 2, that I'll just settle in a sense and won't reach my potential in a financial business setting. And number 1, that I'll be doing something, I'll be making a lot of money, everything will look good on paper, but all actuality, I'm not excited to get up or I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. I just thought about something else too. I just kind of, the thought kind of went through my mind and I forgot about it. But, I think it had to do with potential, not reaching one's potential, That, as I talk to that could very closely be number 1. So, those 3 are my big things when it comes to jobs. It's probably a constant topic of conversation since that deadline of graduating and moving out is coming up. So that's on my mind. It's funny. It's, as I made mention, I have all these tests, and a couple of these classes are really hard. One of them is like mythology. I just need to take it to graduate for like a special credit to graduate. I wonder if the college system will be different in how many years, or if it'll be free, or if we'll even be around. But it'll be interesting to see the differences of college, that you have to take these kind of gen ed courses or what do they call them, prerequisites, and that's not the term. That's for like financial, managerial, accounting, English 101, like class you need to take to prove that hey, you can read, right? You can do the basics of accounting and economics, but it's a elective. That's the name of it. It's an elective course, and I get to see the point in the beginning if people don't want to they don't know what they want to do. Hey, take this elective, take that elective. Oh, I found I have a really big interest in this. And so that's for people who aren't decided, that's good. Me going into college, being around my dad and my grandfather, I was really shaped to be, I don't want to say business-minded because that's cocky, but in and around business, and I can see the natural benefits. This is like Robert Kiyosaki talking now, that being financially free, so then it gives me the financial freedom and freedom via time to chase and do what I want to do. But there's a lot of businessmen who are financially free but work their butts off and they don't have the chance to do what they want to do, or they don't even know what they want to do because they're so unintuned with themselves. talking about being in tune with myself. I need to get back into yoga. I need Kermit to print and give me that thing. First time I went to my yoga studio, old ethics professor, like the first time someone was there, and the second time no one showed up, me and him. So we actually ended up just talking for like an hour and 15 minutes. And after that, I inspired him, and he wrote this big 5-page document or paper on a bunch of things we talked about. And I want to get that paper, and I want to read that paper on here, so eventually I can show my kids. But I was going to go on to hunting, but I think there's a bigger point that this whole hunting surge I've been trying to get more involved with deals with. And I think it's one of those things, will things into existence or submission or power or whatever catchphrase you want to use. But I really want to get more into hunting. Love my father, love my mom, my family. Been hunting. Oh, this just went dark. There we go. But get more into hunting. And so I reached out to these people at Brothers Outdoors, the business. I don't care if this goes viral and somehow they get a bunch of press or bad press. Hey, press is press, good or bad, as long as you're talking about me. But funny story, I can tell that on a later podcast, how I found his personal account. I'll just tell it now. Found his personal account, kind of photographs a lot of things, but he also goes hunting. Oh, Jake's home. And finally stopped by his shop and set up to go. I chartered hunting at, Jake is my roommate. I chartered hunting for hogs, and I'm really excited to do that. But I always wanted to be hunting, and I just kept finding ways to get more involved. So I followed his business, his personal account, stopped by on the way up to Tampa one of these days last weekend on the way to a wedding, great wedding, and set up a hunting thing and got his card. Finally got to talk and told him that story. We really hit it off, and that went well. Also, I commented on Swamp and Stop. They're a 230 subscriber hunting page. You're doing really well. I got on the channel and there was like 200 people. They're already like 235, 240, 250. But I commented this long thing about how I was trying to get more into hunting, MWAs, can you break down the rules? The next video they'll post was a 17-minute video, part 1, about the rules and regulations of wildlife management areas, WMAs, and a bunch of other stuff. And they used my name. I used my personal account, and they called me my first name is Thomas. Thomas, this video is for you. Not amazing quality in the sense of camera, but like, I don't care if it's shitty quality. I mean, I thought actually the quality was amazing. They did a great job of answering my questions. I was a huge fan, and I feel like I get stuck up that I want to get this big, setup of all this, and if I want to make videos, I need this great camera and all this. I see people who have 250 subscribers doing what they love, and it doesn't. There's not these giant barrier of entries that I've just created in my mind. I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but yeah, this Swamp and Stomp channel, absolutely love it. Can't wait for their second part. I need to comment on the first part, actually. I haven't done that yet. But absolutely love it, and I can't wait to watch that channel grow. But I need to do a better job of breaking away and doing this exactly. I feel like this is really therapeutic as time goes on, because I can talk about more political stuff and deep stuff. On that note, Jake's here. Bye.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks.
What?
Check your fucking messages.
Sorry.